I start recording this. So I just want to introduce you guys. You introduce yourselves, name of your company, where your market is, um, talk about how long you've been real estate investing, and then we'll continue from there. Go right ahead.
Yes, my name is Sherelle Edom with the APH Group.
And I am Tony Edom. We are co-owners of APH Group, like she said.
Excellent. So what market are you guys in primarily?
Primarily in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Okay, nice. Now, do you guys invest only where you live, or do you guys invest anywhere else?
Right now, it's primarily here.
Okay. And what's your experience? How many years you've been rehabbing houses?
I've been doing this since the end of 2016, early 2017.
Okay.
We started off in wholesaling, and we wholesaled primarily here, but we also were in virtually in the Little Rock, Arkansas area, as well as the Hampton Roads area, Virginia.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Interesting. What was Arkansas like? I've never flipped in Arkansas. Not that I want to, but I've never.
Well, we were just wholesaling. It was all right. You know, we caught a few deals. We caught deals there. I mean, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So, do you like Arkansas or Texas better?
Texas.
All right. Good.
For sure.
Talk to me about your top 3 challenges that you had prior to reaching out to me. What were those 3 challenges? That I guess consistently were happening, or where you were falling short, or where you were failing. What were those top 3?
3 would be, I would say, budget, obviously, meeting budget, timeline, meeting your timeline, and then organization, just trying to stay organized with the project and what needed to be done when.
Mm-hmm. So those are common, right? Everybody has those issues. Even when I started, I had those issues. And even now and then, I still have those issues where something goes awry. Like right now, I actually have a client out here in Chicago. This is a very real case study we're going to do once the house is on the market and sold. But with that said, I had told them, I would say October of last year, almost a year ago, that this budget for this specific project was going to be under $300,000 in rehab, probably around $290,000. A bunch of doctors, and the doctors are doctors. They think differently. They don't think like businessmen. They think science. I get it, right? And they wanted to try to get it done between $200,000 and $225,000. So to appease them, I said, sure, we could use it as a goal, right? I already knew that shit ain't gonna happen, but whatever they want to hear, fine. Mm-hmm. Turns out we have to go back to them for money. This will be the 4th time because now we're $250 in. Mm-hmm. Right? So we got to get that final 40, whether they like it or not.
Yep.
But here's the challenge. It's gonna be a great case study. The issue is every time we had to go back for money, we lost a month of productivity on the job site. Yeah. When we would order specific materials and we didn't go pick them up or have the guys go pick them up, they got restocked, reshelved, and then they were out of stock. Like now all of a sudden they don't even carry that vanity anymore. Mm-hmm. That mirror is not in stock anymore. So all of a sudden you're like, shit, right? Now you start going to the store, shopping to see what is on the shelves that I can grab right now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's a very bad position to be in.
Yes.
And I just had a call with them this morning talking about it. I said, you know what it is. You know what it was. All right. And he's like, well, who came up with this $200,000 budget in the first place? I said, your buddies. Right. Your 2 doctor friends. Oh, we get it done for like $225. It's a $290 project all day long. But here's the thing, right? Here's the challenge, very similar to your challenges. And I know this guy, he's one of our students. He just didn't want to listen. He's listening now. But the reality of that was I said, we can always there's nothing wrong with goals.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're unrealistic, then they're just stupid ideas. And it was a stupid idea. Because he thought he could really get it done for $225 all in. He didn't raise the $290. He raised $200.
Wow.
Now he's going back to other physicians and friends and trying to get all that money. We lose a month here, a month here, a month here, a month here. Then we restart. And at the end of the day, that's a massive, massive problem. You cannot do it that way. It doesn't work that way. So this morning finally admitted, he goes, I totally should have just listened to you. We would have been done with this project in 4 or 5 months because it's a large project. And I said, yeah, dude. I said, the challenges that you had before add ego to that. I said, because you got in your own way of this situation, unfortunately. And I stayed true and consistent to what it was. I said it was going to be 290. We're going to finish at 290. I said, so in essence, my budget was correct. Our plan was correct. Were the change orders, of course, but we still made it happen within the budget. I said, but you guys had unrealistic expectations from lack of experience. And your lack of business acumen and negotiation tactics didn't even lead it to where we need to be, because you had to go find more money, and that's not your thing. So you've got to think about all those other outside variables that lead to the complex issue, right? Construction controls all projects. But if the money's not funding the hamster wheel, construction dies.
Yes.
And when you have to restart a job, it costs money.
Right.
You lose some guys because they will take other jobs. You lose materials. More importantly, you lose time, but you lose the trust of the team. I had to go back to my own team time and time again saying it's going to be fine. They got to raise the money. Fuck that shit. I ain't trying to do that. We got other things to do. I'm like, you're right. We do have other things to do. I said, but go do what we got to do. There, and I thought you were going back to this house. So it's a lot of struggle on all parts. So that's why I say that I appreciate you sharing your challenges, because even we live them. We just know how to work them. But we also know which is actually a challenge or just a waste of anxiety. Right?
And the word,
because everybody has anxiety, they just don't know how to use it. Anxiety is actually great fuel.
Right.
Because you got to think about what anxiety is, right? Anxiety is where you are consciously aware of something that maybe you didn't do, need to do, or will do. It might be an issue of you think a problem is a problem. It's not a problem. Problems aren't problems, right? They're challenges. And all that a problem really means is it needs your attention. Once you give it attention, it's no longer a problem, right? Take, for example, when we were talking before about the flooring issue. It was a problem in your mind, but once we talked it through about how to get through the flooring issue, you gave it the attention it needed. It's no longer a problem. That's what anxiety is. So when you use anxiety the right way, man, fire. You can actually use that for fuel and be like, all right, I have all the self-awareness in the world. You have my full fucking attention. What are we doing? Because my anxiety is now giving you the focus. What do you want to do? What are we going to do? And when you say it with conviction and you say it confidently, it's almost like you just release the anxiety.
Right.
You literally just go, fuck it.
What's next?
Right.
So your challenges are very, 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 very parallel to almost everybody's challenges in the game, especially who are on the front end of their career, right? Newer, right? And when I say newer, I refer to volume, right? So in comparison to your volume, there are people out there who have done massive volume, obviously. That doesn't mean they're better than you, because I know for a fact they're not, right? They still call. So I know they're not better than you. So the reality is numbers don't matter in terms of volume. What matters is how effective, quality, and efficient that one singular project you did was. So let's talk about that project. So talk to me real quick. The last thing I'll ask before we get into that is, what made you call me? How'd you find me?
So
it was a lot of me pushing him to be like, why are we not getting where we need to be? We're flipping houses consistently, and things just aren't aligning. So we have to make a change. And we had recently, we were in another group, and you had came on and spoke. At the time, we had just begun our first flip, and so we just weren't really ready yet. We didn't know what challenges we were facing.
But I remember at the time, even then, we were like, we needed to.
Yeah, we did. We
need
did.
This guy,
we were like, we need this guy, but we didn't have no money either. We were just
it wasn't even that. It was just we were so early.
We were like, we're putting all our money here, putting all our money there. It was just everywhere. But we were like, we definitely want that guy.
He knows.
I think I remember you told me it was Tiffany Hayes.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
That was a while back.
That was a while back.
2 years ago.
2 or 3 years ago.
But see, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Because that means that whatever I had said that day was impactful.
Yes.
Couldn't tell you what it was, but that means that it resonated with you that this is a very real game, and I'm very grateful that you called me, because it was a pleasure to work with you.
Yeah. I told you, I was like, we got to find his information again, and we have
That's what happened too. We actually, to find you, because she said that a couple times. And then I went back into the archives because they were gracious enough to allow us to have recordings of some old, all the old sessions while we were in their mentorship. And I was searching and searching, and finally, it's like, there he is. This is the guy, Sherelle. And we watched that episode again, and we're like, we called you that day.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, this
Yes.
is, you kind of remember why it impressed me.
I appreciate it. I think more importantly, I think sometimes in life you don't know what your passions are because you're always evolving. Right?
Sure.
Especially in life, there's the old saying that maybe you've never heard of it, but I'll share it with you. I become like a philosopher later in my life. It's just you learn so much from people, and then like everything you've learned in life, like it just starts connecting dots. It's hard to explain. Like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. But like when you look at like your 20s and 30s, that's like the morning of your life, and like the 40s and 50s is your afternoon, the 60s is your evening, and then 70s twilight, right? The idea is that you're not supposed to be the same level by every time, right? Because the sun's setting, right? So if I'm the same guy in my 40s that I was in my 20s, I haven't done a fucking thing right.
Correct.
Right? If I'm still the same guy in my 60s that I was in my 40s, I haven't done a fucking thing right. See where I'm going with this? Mm-hmm. And by twilight, it's too late.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at the evolution of business. That's how I look at the evolution of what we've accomplished. The passion has become you guys. The passion has become, if I can just smack you around a little bit and say, listen, you're going to make money if you just do it this way because this fool is chomping at the bit to take your shit, right? Mm-hmm. And he's not going to tell you why or how. It's technically not really illegal. He just knows the business better than you. Mm-hmm. Then I'd like to level that playing field. And that's what we've done for years. And so I appreciate those words, and I appreciate you finding me. And this is my passion. I enjoy this more than dealing with my construction company. I enjoy this more than the investment. I enjoy this more than dealing with clients about telling them I told you needed $90,000 more. Mm-hmm. Those are never fun conversations. But that's the reality of the business we've chosen. Yeah. All right, let's talk about why we're together. So you joined, you're part of the group, 30-day program, you signed up, and what's the one thing I told you right off the bat that was important? I said we probably need an avatar. We need a project. We need a property that would be best for us to kind of apply, right? Theory then application, right? Mm-hmm. Just theory, and hopefully I remember it 6 months from now when I get a deal. Right. You guys were diligent. You guys found a house. It was awesome. We worked through the budgets together. We did the scope together. We kind of passed things back and forth. I gave you contract packages. We kind of edited and revised collectively, all while learning the process of why we're doing what we're doing. Yep. And we talked about a bunch of risk in the very beginning. Mm-hmm. We talked about negotiating because that's going to come up, and it came up. We talked about controlling the materials. We talked about controlling the margin, controlling the budget, controlling the payments, contingency plans, time frames, and then, of course, every possible challenge in the world that's going to come, and a bunch came. Mm-hmm. Even more so that we even planned for, like the ice thing and the nosy neighbor shit, right? We'll talk about that. But like, yes. But the thing is like when you are mentally aware and again, positively anxious, you're aware that, all right, so this idiot, my neighbor, wants to be a punk. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to deal with him as a human being. You know, you're already pre-programmed to be prepared for anything and everything. Mm-hmm. And that had nothing to do with construction, but since your mind was so locked in on construction challenges, he was just like a weird cloud. Like, no, like, shut up, dude. Like, I'll talk to you in a minute. We're over here doing site fencing, you know. But those things happen. So we talked about really how to run a project, how to set up the project, how to do the paperwork on a project, how to look and negotiate with contractors, how to look at the budget itself and control the money, how to look at materials, how to design board things. Mm-hmm. Really what it was preparation to get into that rehab comfortably, so that when the challenges came in phase 2 of construction, where project management comes in, you were as prepared as you possibly could be. Sure. And then we jump in and would have a conversation. I'd ask you, hey, you know, what's going on? Give me an update. What do you need? Do you need any advice? Yeah. You give me a question. We talk about it. You'd execute. That's the key to success, is your execution. Yep. Right? Because I could talk till I'm fucking green and you guys do nothing with it. Yep. But you guys would execute. Then I'd follow them and go, how did that combo go? Blah, 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 blah. Or how did that situation go? Blah, blah, blah. Hey, you know what? I want to talk to you. We got to talk. I got a situation. All right, cool. No problem. Call me. Mm-hmm. And then we talk about it. And I'm like, well, it's not really that deep. It's not even a situation. So let's talk about it. Most of your situations, in my opinion, during that project were Tony's emotions. I think it was more you responding emotionally to a circumstance or a situation that without me, you could have gone left, like the whole wrong way, right?
A million
But it's more talking it through as well, why you hyped up or why you pissed or what's really making you mad. And let's take the flooring situation that came up. In your project, you guys are at the very, very end. You're making good time. You guys are doing well on the budget. Things are going smoothly for the most part. Nothing smooth 100%, but I'd say you guys knocked this out within the 90th percentile without question. But things started getting a little bumpy and choppy at the end. Cool, no problem. And then the flooring issue comes up. You gave him a sample. You gave the contractor a sample. He then takes it and says, yeah. He goes and gets materials. He starts installing all the floor. Totally different color than what you gave him a sample for. It was like basically gray versus like cream or beige or real light wood color, right? I can even tell the color difference. And you were heated. You were a little pissed off. You said what you had to say. And I said, you're both wrong. And you're both right. So can't point the finger all the time if you didn't go quality control what was being installed day one, right?
Yeah.
Because it's easy to have done that. But in hindsight, lesson learned.
Yeah.
Because you are in control of the materials, you should check your materials. And then on day one, when he started coming in and started putting his first 2 lit boards in, you would have known, wait a minute, that's not it. Versus almost 90% of the house being floored and then having to be refloored. So we talked about the emotional aspect. We talked about your fault too, his fault too. Find a happy, right? We talked about how to negotiate that. You cover the loss of the floor. He covers the loss of the labor. That's fair, right? Talked about doing a deal. He went back and got you at least a refund on the parts that weren't used, which is rare. So that's good. And he got it knocked out for you in almost 24, 48 hours. So he didn't really lose much time to get it back on the market because you handled it correctly. And just having me on the line, being able to say, hey, you're both wrong and you're both right. Here's how I would handle it. Being objective to the situation allowed a good conversation to happen. You were too subjective to it. You were emotional. You were in on it. So it's hard to see. It's easy to be like, what the fuck? Can't do that.
Yeah, I don't want to cut you off, but this is
right bounce.
This is like even that right there stopped a pattern, where we go left instead of going right, or we lose time, because now everybody's kind of heated and we all pointed at what we did wrong, and we look at that for a couple of weeks and we don't move forward, or it's so. Just being able to bounce it off of somebody who has the experience is like, yeah, you could do that, but then this is the consequence of that. And instead, these are very simple. You could do this or you could do this. Which one makes sense? You could lose the money and just buy new floors if you really feel that passionately about it, or you could leave the floors in and then get him to agree to cover the cost if we feel that that's the reason why the house isn't selling. Boom. So it was really simple when it was laid out like that. So instead of dwelling and kind of sitting in your feelings and being mad, like these are the solutions and here's how we work through it. And it was a lot of stuff like that I feel like you brought to the table to help us to continue pushing forward. Even when we talk about the neighbor was a crazy person and I wanted to call the police. And you were like, you know what? You could do that, but why put yourself on the radar?
Don't do it.
It doesn't make any sense.
When you're a rehabber, you want to stay off the radar.
Right. So
period in the story as much as humanly possible.
Yep.
And this guy almost was kind of baiting you into a situation
that
might have cost you more time and money.
Exactly.
But so it's kind of like he's small potatoes. Like if he's not vandalizing your home, if he doesn't have like ice trucks out front, like dude, ignore him.
Right.
And that's why I said, did you pull permits? Are you doing it right? If you're doing it right, fuck them.
Yeah.
And I asked those real questions. I said, demographic wise, you're a black couple. Is it a white neighborhood?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, unfortunately, that shit's real. And if they're trying to get the Mexicans you've got hired off the job site, put it all together, man. As sad as that is, that's the reality of what it was. Yeah. Let it go. Right.
And even with the permits, like, did you pull permits? Oh, we don't need permits, right? And then come to find out, we need the permits for the fence. And we need permits for the doors and the window. Oops.
100%. 100%.
So
you got through the project.
Yep.
What was the original budget?
The original budget was 65,000.
What did we finish at?
We finished around was like close to 72.
So about $5,000 off.
7, something like that.
$7,000 off.
Mm-hmm.
What were the change orders for?
Plumbing, electricity.
Okay.
Other change orders.
New doors.
New doors.
Okay.
And the flooring, of course.
The redoing of the flooring. So the redoing of the flooring could have been avoided.
Yes, for sure.
How much did that cost?
Like $3,000.
Oh my God, that's half of your change order budget. Okay. Bring that down to $4,000 in change orders.
Mm-hmm.
I heard interior doors. Did we not plan for interior doors?
No, we were just gonna repaint the ones that were there.
Oh, I remember this one. This is where you guys thought you were gonna paint them, but you couldn't because you can't strip them because they're cheap.
Yes, correct.
Lesson learned. Could have avoided that too. How much did that cost you?
Oh, how much for the doors? Like $1,500?
Yeah.
Like $1,500?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, the only things I'm going to give you
Mm-hmm.
would be plumbing and electric because sometimes you just don't know what's in the wall.
Sure.
That's fair. But on a material, it's your fault. You could have controlled the flooring and you could have controlled the doors.
Mm-hmm.
Lesson learned. That would equate to maybe $4,500 in change orders that you could have controlled because it was material based.
Yep.
But for $4,500, you'll never do it again.
100%.
Right?
Yep.
So the change orders legitimately were about $3,000 and they go to MEPs. I accept that.
Mm-hmm.
So all in all, your budget was probably $70,000.
Mm-hmm.
Grand, I would say change orders. The additional change orders are mistakes made on the owner, and that's okay. Okay? Good job all the way around. Time frame. What did we budget for a time frame? And how many days did we go over because of the $7,000 in change orders? Because sometimes you can't have one without the other. What I mean by that is if you're going to have a change order, more than likely there's going to be time allotted to it. Now, you could always have a change order just for time.
Yeah.
Right? If you're really tracking it, you could literally go, hey, I need another week. I'm calling that myself, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. But usually if there's a material or a task on a job site, it's going to equate to some type of time being allocated to it.
Right.
So what was the original time?
60 days.
How many days did it take to get on the market?
Around 40 something.
So we came in under time with 7,000 in
yeah, for sure. For sure.
I salute you. That's dope. I salute you. 20 days under budget, $7,000 over budget.
Yes.
That's a win, baby. That's a win.
Like
Tom Cruise does. These are all his bells, by the way. Damn. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
And that had been our thing, man. Like, we typically would underwrite for at least 6 months because based on the contract that we had, that's just how long it would take, you know? And then we used to have the contractor come in and tell us what's the budget supposed to be. And so that this
$7,000 over budget, 20 days under
20
time.
20 days under time, man. Yep.
I love it. All right. Now, with that said, let's talk about cash flowing. How was the process managed by you? How do you feel the draw process went? The milestones in terms of your agreements with the contractor, the payment process itself, and then change order process itself. Financially, how do you feel from the money standpoint? Things flowing.
It was better than before. Still need to work on some things,
sure.
But definitely better than before. Understanding and knowing what everything was being spent on each draw and what we were accounting for and why some draws were bigger than others or things like that was very beneficial this go around than our previous flips. I think just we have a new GC, and so with there being a language barrier, we've learned at the end of the project, just a better way to communicate. So that way we could have even more of a better draw process and even more of a better understanding of when money's needed, things like that. So, you have anything to add?
No, I agree. I think that one thing that we need to maybe do differently is really hold ourselves to the disbursement of the draw money. Like it's going to happen on Friday. There's a couple of times when we put ourselves into a position where it was like, the contractor's like, I need to get this done right now. And our process says we need to have it done here. And so that put us in a little bit of a like, okay, well, how do we come up with the money to do X, Y, Z?
Yeah. When issues like of a change order came in order to not delay the project, he would bring in somebody and be like, I can get it done tomorrow, but I need the money for it, kind of a thing. And it's like, well, okay, well, we don't want to slow things down, so sure, we'll figure out how to get the money.
That's kind of how a good understanding for you guys, because most people don't understand. Like, a change order is a change order. If it wasn't part of the scope and it wasn't part of your budget, it's a change order. Okay, whether you agree on it or not is a different conversation. A change order is something that's not agreed upon to you on the contract, whatever. Usually, and this is the educational piece, right, where everything in rehabbing is 50% less than retail. And retail construction, when I say like residential, like when I say like you and the wifey or you and your hubby want to do your dream kitchen because you live there, you're going to spend whatever it takes to do your dream kitchen because you're already visualizing entertaining family, you're visualizing the children, you're visualizing holidays, right? Especially if you love to cook. You know what your kitchen can look like. It's going to be open floor concept with a big island more than likely to cater, right? So you're going to spend whatever you need to spend on that, and you're going to pay retail costs because an A-level contractor is going to come do your work. You wouldn't let a rehab contractor do your kitchen. Don't lie.
Nah.
You know you wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Right? I wouldn't have my rehab crews doing my house. I bring my best guys to do my house.
Yeah.
Or I do the shit myself if I have time, which I don't have time. But like I just built my own deck. That took like 3 months. Should have taken 3 days, but I don't have time. So it is what it is. But my point is like, in that situation, great lesson learned because he said, hey, I can bring a guy tomorrow, but I need the money. That's actually how it works in residential construction in general. Rehabbing is a niche, like fringe, like doctors who still make house calls. Right? That's a fringe part of medical practice. It's not illegal. It's just different.
Yeah.
Right? So they call them fringe doctors. There's a reason why they decide they want to do house calls. They're probably a little off.
Yep.
But that's what rehabbing to me has always been is like you're dealing with the fringe contractors who are willing to work for pennies. They should be working for dollars. And that's why the guys that work for dollars are like, keep your rehab. I ain't dealing with that shit. You don't even have a budget. And the best part about that is, and I used to say this to investors all the time, like, you don't have a budget. And I would just smile away. And they knew, like, I know, but what do? I'm like, I don't know, but we're not touching that shit. Call that guy over there with that rusted ass fucking truck. He'll do it. That's the reality of the balance of it, right? There's levels to this, and you guys have learned that, and that's awesome. Now, moving forward, we've got some numbers, we've got some stats. We talked about the challenges. What's the number one thing you learned from the 3 challenges that Sherelle talked about before we started talking? Now that the project is done, what's the number one lesson you learned that you didn't think mattered? Meaning, like, you already knew consciously, like, were you challenged? But, like, what surprised you where you're like, shit, this is actually complicated. But I can get through it, and you got through
it. For me, it was like as much stuff that needs to happen at the beginning because like the preparation to even go into it, that was surprising. But when you first mentioned it, it just made so much sense because as a wholesaler, you make your money on the buy side. So obviously, so we didn't understand how to manage the project manager, how to manage budgets. We used to have them come in, the contractor, and be like, tell us how much this stuff is going to be. So I think that's one of the biggest things that
That's great. That's great. I try to attract more wholesalers on purpose for this reason alone, because I tell wholesalers, I said, at the end of the day, you're a glorified marketer. You're not even an investor. You're definitely not a rehabber. So you're not even in our industry. You market to our industry. I said, but I could tell you that you have some decent inventory that you should flip yourself.
Right.
And if I could show you how to do that in 30 days, would you take me up on it, kind of thing? And so many guys are like, yeah, maybe. And I'm like, you'd make more money if you did it. But if you split it, say, okay, start off maybe 80% wholesale, 20% rehab. And then as you get better, it starts to level off. That's all I'm saying. Take your time with it, but learn it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear that. Now, house is on the market. Give me the metrics. What did you originally buy the house for?
Okay.
What were the comps in the area, ARV-wise, that helped us come up with this $67,000 evaluation? Okay. And what do we have it on the market for now?
Okay, so purchase price for the house was $230,000. Right.
I'm gonna write this down. $230,000.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna give you guys mad props on the internet. Yeah. 200. Yeah. And 30,000 original. That's the purchase price.
Yes, that's the purchase. Okay. We rehabbed it for around 70, let's say 72.
So originally planned 67, finished at 72. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Around 65, 67. Yeah. And so the comps we saw told us that it should be between 365 and 375. That's what the comps showed us. But then we found a little bit of an outlier, or one that sold for 400. And then when this one was all said and done, by the time when we finished, it was basically a brand new house with all the stuff that we did. So we were like, you know what? Let's shoot for we definitely have the nicest one in the area. So we listed it at 400. That was on this past Friday.
Outstanding. And how many days on market before it got an offer?
Oh, it had an offer. It had an offer that day. But the next day we did an open house. So more people came, and then we did a best and final for Monday because we had multiple offers. So we did a best and final for Monday by noon. And we ended up accepting an offer for $407,000.
I love it. That would be what, 2 days later?
Correct.
Man. So all in, you were at, dude, all in, you guys were under 300.
Yeah.
That's a nice profit.
Yeah.
What is your estimated profit after paying everything out?
Our estimated profit probably be in the high 60s because of financing and things like that.
What did you say, 68, 69?
Yes, correct. Yep.
$69,000 profit for 40 days of work.
Crazy.
On construction, 30 days of putting in the lessons learned simultaneously.
Yep. That
was well worth your month and a half of crash course, because now you should just rinse and repeat.
Exactly.
Now you should just rinse and repeat your entire life.
Yes.
No matter what asset, no matter how square footage, how big, small, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Rinse and fucking repeat, man.
Yes.
This is fantastic.
Yes.
All right. I got all your metrics. This is such a great case study. I love it.
Yeah.
With that said, to close this thing off, what would you say your experience was working with me? What would you say? Just 3 questions. What was your experience working with me?
Mm-hmm.
What was your overall opinion on the type of material and education I taught you? Mm-hmm. And was it all 100% applicable to what you do for a living, or was there anything that I taught you that you didn't need to use? So start with 1. What was it like working with me?
It was great because you're my type of person. You know, it's going to be direct. It's going to be what you need to hear. So get out your feelings, because it'll wake you up like, okay, so you have to really just be open to receive the information, because the information is correct. So no nonsense. And it's always current, and you can tell you care, you know, because you're always checking up on us, like, hey, what's going on? Do you guys need anything? You need any help? And that meant a lot, because know you got a lot going on, but for you to consistently tap in, even when we maybe didn't have a call scheduled, or you know, so that was great. So we appreciated that. And as far as the information is concerned, I mean, like I said, we were blessed enough to have a property that happened right at the beginning of our time working with you. So everything was super applicable. And so it was like we were paid, we were locked in, paying attention to everything as it came up because it was applicable. So the things that you said, the strategies that we had in terms of even just negotiating for the house, in terms of just writing the contracts or setting things up for to deal with the new contract, to write up a bid for different contractors. It was just step by step. We were able to see in real time and apply in real time and to execute in real time and to get feedback in real time. So we saw the benefits, which is why we can sit here and sing your praises because it's like, listen, what he's saying works. The man knows what he's talking about. Like, if you're setting out on this journey, you need somebody to kind of give you to give you the information to help you so that you don't make the mistakes. Trust me, we've made those mistakes. We've gone at it alone. We said we can figure it out just watching YouTube or just kind of half knowing. We're smart people. We get it. Like you're smart, but you don't know what you're doing. And rather than going through 10 years of taking L's or losing a ton of money, I suggest you just reach out to Roddy, man. He'll get you right. He got us right.
I appreciate that, man. Other than that, I've had tons of pleasure working with you guys. So bottom line is it never ends, right? You're with me for life. So anytime you have a question, even on a new flip, anytime you have an issue or challenge with the AI, anytime you have a challenge with prospecting, and then obviously taking the deal down and maybe trying to rehearse or reverse, preparing for the rehab or paperwork or whatever, I'm here. You just reach out. Just reach out. Talk to me. I will leave our live chat in Moxo open. You'll see it there for a while, and then eventually it'll archive itself. It won't ever go away.
Okay.
It'll probably just leave the dashboard eventually, and then it'll archive, and then we can always reference it if we need to.
Okay.
But I'll leave everything up there for a while. So this way, if you got to go back and download some stuff, by all means do it. But I always have it if it's not there anyway.
Perfect.
How's the AI going for you?
AI is great. It's the first stop in us assessing any of these new properties that we're looking at. We underwrite and look at properties every day. So it's like, hey, I need to know a level 2 rehab for a house in this zip code with this bedroom and bathroom.
Yes, that's it.
Contingent. I need a work and a budget. And I
wonder where you got that verbiage from, man. It sounds like me.
I just made that up. What are you talking about?
That's funny. I need a level 2 rehab for zip code 60061, 2-bed rehab.
That's it. And it just spits it out instantly, like, okay. And we'll get an idea of what the renovation will be. Yeah. And we've been underwriting for a while, and I don't think that we've always been super off, but I think that this has helped us to kind of, you definitely need to have your worst case scenario. You can't be like, oh, it says 60, but I think we can do it for 40. No, you're setting yourself up. So the AI has been super helpful. Super helpful.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate that. It's been a pleasure working with you and Sherelle. Obviously, congratulations on your baby.
Back in there.
I'm always here, no matter what you need. You're part of the community. By all means, post your successes. Anything new you guys are doing, post it in the Facebook group. Share. I think, and I'm being honest, I think so many people are discouraged in today's market. It's been a rough year for almost everybody. Yeah. And I think so many people are losing hope that they didn't even know enough to survive, let alone try to restart, right? And that's discouraging for anybody. I don't care who you are.
Sure.
Yeah. We all bleed. So it's one of those things where your success in this, I mean, to be able to rip almost a $70,000 profit from 40 days of work is pretty fucking impressive. Yeah. I don't care who you are.
I wanted to add, Tony said 100%. We appreciate you and what you did during that time and what you're continuing to do now. You're still available to speak to and be approachable. So I definitely appreciate that. But it allowed us to really focus on and enjoy the rehab process, where before it wasn't really, it was starting to not be fun, and so it made it fun again. Using your methodology as far as how to approach this and plan ahead and be organized and stay on track of things made it a lot more fun to design, to pay attention to the details, to work with our contractor. Like, we really got a spark of like joy out of this flip. Than we did on
That's rare. Actually, I'm so glad you said that, because that's so rare that somebody says they enjoyed.
Yeah.
Because essentially what you're saying is you enjoyed the process and the experience.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how many people actually say that.
Yeah.
People are like, it's over.
That part.
But I'm glad. But you know what though? That will carry you on to be motivated for the next flip.
Yeah.
It really is gonna be like, I'm hungry. Let's go do another one.
Yeah.
You know,
for real. I mean,
that's the one that made me happiest out of everything you said, was that you enjoyed it.
The name of our company is APH, which stands for A Present Help. So we're trying to help people and put people into properties that, so that was really the purpose behind it. But when you start getting into the business and things start going left and things don't go right, the joy and the desire it just kind of leaves it, because then it's like, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. Oh, guess what? More stuff that sucks. And it just can beat you down a little bit. So when we finished this one, it was just like, oh man, this is probably the nicest one we've ever done. We felt pride, like, I'm proud of this one right here. I can't wait for somebody to get this.
I'm proud because you're proud.
Yeah, man. It's dope. So it's awesome.
Well, guys, thank you so much for taking the time. Honestly, I appreciate it. Like I said, I enjoyed working with you. I don't enjoy working with everybody. Sometimes I tell the ones I don't enjoy working with, I tell to their face. I think they know what's coming. I'll say, I've had clients. We respect each other, no problem, right? Mm-hmm. But our energies were not connected, and that's okay, because it's all about results anyway, right? Like, I gotta help you get the results that you want, whether we like each other or not. Right. And sometimes we're not supposed to be friendly until the end. And there's a guy that we just kept bumping heads, because I kept calling him out. I'm like, you got a lot of personal challenges that you need to fucking figure out, because you're the one causing problems in your own world. But he was also causing problems like in his own family. I'm like, you're an issue. And it was more of a guy-to-guy thing. I'm like, dude, you're going to have bigger problems in fucking real estate if you don't get your shit together. So he didn't like being called out because he's a proud dude. But I think at the end of the day, he understood I was just looking out for him, because if you're not good at home, you're not good anywhere.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So good shit. Yes. Love you guys. I'm always here. Anytime you need me, you just text me. And I look forward to seeing what you do on the next one, man. Because now you've got a goal. Now you got a goal, and now you've got real KPIs.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So track all of that. Yeah. Track your original budget. Track your change orders. Track why those change orders happen. Track your time. Track your negotiations. Track the numbers. $230 purchase price, 67 to 72 for the whole project. Comp being at 365, 375. You saw a $400 sale, so you pushed a $400 sale and got a 407. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Write that shit down.
Yeah.
Awesome. Proud of you guys. Have a great day. Thank you very much. I'm going to post this all over social with your blessing. But I want other people to find success. Simple as that.
Absolutely, man. No problem. Thank you.
I need your home address, because you just earned your goat.
Hey.
I need two sweatshirt, 2 t-shirt sizes.
Okay.
That's your buckle. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
And if you want something for the baby, we got onesies. I need sizes.
Oh, what? Oh, for sure.
That's
the future.
Yeah.
Yes.
So text me privately all your sizes and stuff, and we'll send you a bundle.
All right, on, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Welcome to the Go program, baby. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, man. Talk to you later.